For me, it was really important to wear the white hat. I wanted to be the one that was representing Her Majesty in court and making those difficult decisions about who to prosecute and what to prosecute them for, and to prosecute them fairly and aggressively when need be. When I was at Mount Royal, I envisioned my life being that I would go to Southern California to get my degree in criminal justice. I would come back, join either the Calgary Police Service or the RCMP, and then have a career in policing. So that's where I saw my life going.
First or second year, during the summers, he would work at the farm, and he had a really bad eye accident, and so his police career was out, and so he had to find a new career, and that's what brought him to prosecution.
After I finished my degree in California, I then went to UBC and did my law degree at UBC.
He always told me that he was just always so driven, and he really wanted it.
I had wanted to get a third degree, and specifically I wanted to get a Master of Laws degree. I really wanted to go to Cambridge. That was my goal. Cambridge is a phenomenal institution. It is now more than 800 years old, and it's the place where some of the most significant and influential academics and people in the world have gone to university. It's a place where you're having classes in classrooms that are 500 years old. And it's that tradition that I wanted, and that's what I got there. I met remarkable people. Of the 4 universities that I went to in my post-secondary career, Mount Royal had the greatest influence on me, less as a student and more as a person, which was remarkable because I didn't pay tuition for that, but that's what I ended up getting.
Jonathan is a senior Crown prosecutor in Calgary Prosecutions. Our office handles everything from shoplifting to murder. So it's a very serious job, a very difficult and highly responsible profession to be in.
So a Crown prosecutor is the person in the criminal justice system who ultimately decides who will be prosecuted, what they'll be prosecuted for, and then we carry on and do the prosecution.
You know, that's one thing Jonathan was known for. He was passionate about those prosecutions that he took on. Immensely fair person, an immensely easy person to deal with high standards. But you knew that when Jonathan had a file, that it was going to be presented in the absolute best way possible to the judge.
As the prosecutor, it's our job to lead all relevant evidence, whether it hurts the Crown or benefits the Crown, because our goal always is to seek and to ascertain the truth. That's what we want, whatever the result may be.
He is very experienced in going to court on significant matters, on homicide, attempted murder, impaired driving causing death. Very, very difficult, high-pressure cases.
In all of those cases, whether they're murders or motor vehicle homicides, there is a swath of people left behind, and dealing with the victims, because they are victims, who come to court to stand testament to the people that were lost, is very significant.
The most important part is that he's kind and he takes care of the families. I think that's what really, I mean, aside from all the things that he does well in his job, but he cares so much about the families.
In fact, the most difficult time that I have in court is during sentencing, when family members of people who have been killed are giving victim impact statements. That's when you hear firsthand the horrific effect that the crime has had on them and their family. And for me as a prosecutor, that is the most difficult thing to hear.
He explains to the family right off the bat that no matter what happens, your loved one is not coming back. So not to get too, he does a lot of talking with them about don't get your hopes up too much, because when the trial is over, it's going to be kind of a letdown, because even if he is convicted and is going to be in jail or imprisoned forever, it doesn't bring your loved one back. And he always tells them that, and I think that's really important.
I always tell them you had no choice as to whether your loved one was going to be killed, but you do have some choice in the sense that you can come to court, you can choose to be involved. They don't make any decisions or call the shots, but they can be part of the process. And I find for most people that, as painful as it is, showing up in court and seeing what happens and hearing the facts can really be helpful and can be very cathartic in dealing with significant trauma.
Our world in the justice system has changed dramatically over the last few years. So many changes. Jonathan keeps up to speed on that. The recognition of him as an expert in surveillance video analysis is something that, again, speaks to his willingness to continue to learn and be the best at his craft.
For a long time before it was fashionable, Jonathan learned about this digital trail and learned about these cameras and their effective use in the courts and in evidence. And really, he has become the master in that area as well, and he teaches all over the world in that area.
He was just blown away by this technology. He's like, why aren't we using this? Why aren't we using this now? And he was an integral part to forensic video analysis becoming a forensic science.
In the late 1990s, I was prosecuting a murder that involved video evidence. And it was shortly after that murder case concluded that I started teaching at the FBI Academy, because I started to develop an expertise in forensic video analysis law. The danger in relying on video from a cell phone camera or YouTube or another social media source is that we don't always get the full story from that video. And so while 10 seconds of video may look extremely bad, if you had the overall context of the incident, you would draw a different conclusion from that. And so we, as a society, need to be very careful that we don't jump to conclusions just by looking at a few seconds of video. We need to look at things in a much more broader context.
He likes the science of it. He likes to really delve into all of the forensics and the science and trying to figure it out, and meeting with the police officers and trying to figure all the things out. I think that's what he likes, and it's very analytical, which really suits him.
One of the things that I find most rewarding being a Crown prosecutor is that I feel that being a prosecutor can make a difference in people's lives. We can't change what's happened to someone, but we can have an impact on what society's response is to that.
He really takes the time to spend with families and talks to them, talks them through it, and this is the process, this is what's going to happen. And I think that that's what makes him such a great Crown prosecutor.
He doesn't walk around trumpeting his abilities. He doesn't walk around bragging about anything. He likes to fly under the radar and just do good work. Frankly, I wouldn't mind cloning him. If I could get a sample of his DNA, I may just do that.
He is just one of those individuals that gives the full measure of everything he's got when he's committed to prosecuting a file.
I hope I made a difference. It really is as simple as that. I hope I made a difference in the lives of some people.